Good morning, students. Today we will continue the class with theories of corporate merger. In last class, we had covered merger waves. Merger will be helping to use or re-employment or deployment of corporate assets is accomplished through many forms, that is merger, tender offer, joint ventures, disventure and spin-off have potential for social benefit. And social benefit, it is not only benefit to the society but also through the organization, because when two companies are merged will be benefited to the society in the form of employment opportunities, good quality product at a reasonable price, as well as company will be under profit. Let us see the theories. There are totally 7 kinds of theories. In that, first one, efficiency theory. Second one is information and signaling. Then third one, agency problem and managerialism. Fourth one, free cash flow hypothesis. Then fifth is market power. Then sixth is tax consideration, and lastly it is value increases by redistribution. In case of efficiency theory, there are again 6 methods here. That is difference efficient theory, inefficient management theory, operating synergy, pure diversification, then strategy realignment to changing environment, and lastly undervaluation. In efficiency theory, first one, this theory holds that merger and other forms of asset redeployment have potential for social benefits. They involve improving the performance in the office current management, that is incumbent we say, or achieving a form of synergy. Synergy is nothing extra benefits through the merger. First one is differential efficiency theory. According to this theory, if the management of a firm is more efficient than the firm B, and if the firm acquires firm B, the efficiency of firm B is likely to be brought up to the level of firm A. It is nothing but the benefit of firm A or the managerial style of the firm A will be followed by firm B. Automatically efficiency of firm B also increases. Then managerial synergy based on horizontal merger, where they get the social gain as well as private gain. Horizontal merger means merger of similar kind of business. This theory implies that some firms operate below their potential and as a result have below average efficiency. The next one, such firms are most vulnerable to acquisition by other most or more efficient firms in the same industry. This is because firms with greater efficiency would be able to identify firms with good potential but operating at a lower efficiency. Second theory, that is inefficient management theory. This is similar to the concept of managerial efficiency, but it is different in that inefficient management means that the management of one company simple is not performing up to its potential. Inefficient management theory simply represents that is incompetent in the complete sense. Incompetent, they are not able to compete with the other companies. Third one is synergy. It refers to the type of reaction that occurs when two substances or factors combine to produce a greater efficient together than that which the sum of the two operating independently could account for. It is nothing but what extra benefit when the two companies are combined they will be getting. The ability of the combination of two firms to be more profitable than the two firms individually. There are 2 types of synergies, or we can say 3 types also: financial synergy, operating synergy, and management synergy. This financial synergy occurs when the joining of two companies improves financial activities to a level greater than when the companies were operating as separate entity. Usually, merger and acquisition transaction results in a larger company which has a higher bargaining power to get a lower cost of capital Achieving a lower cost of capital as a result of merger or acquisition is an example of financial synergy, benefit when they get from the finance. Then operating synergy or operating economy, we say, may be achieved horizontal, vertical, or even in conglomerate merger. Manufacturing operations, research, marketing, or finance activities will be combined of two companies and the benefit they will be earning. Then management synergy. Synergy in management and in relation to teamwork refers to the combined efforts of individual as participants of the team. The conditions that exist when the organization's interact to produce a joint effect that is greater than the sum of the part acting alone. The next, in case of efficiency theory, that is first one, that is pure diversification. Diversification and changes. Diversification provides numerous benefits to managers, employees, owners of the firm, to the firm itself. Diversification through merger is a common preferred to diversification through internal growth, given that the firm may lack internal resources and capability required. Diversification may have value for many reasons, that is demand by manager and other employees, preservations of organizational and reputational capital, financial and tax advantages, shareholders. Then the fifth one, strategic realignment to changing environment or environmental changes. The strategic planning approaches to merger implies either possibilities of economic scale, that is reasonable cost of production or lower cost of production in case of large scale production, or tapping an underused capacity in the firm's present managerial capacity. It suggests that the firms use the strategy of merger and acquisition as a way to rapidly adjust to changes in their external environment. In external diversification, the firms acquire management skills for needed augmentations of its present capabilities in capturing growth opportunities. The speed of adjustment through merger would be quicker than internal development. Then the next one is undervaluation. A firm is said to be undervalued when its existing market value is lower than the intrinsic value, that is face value or fair value of the shares. Causes of undervaluation may be that management is not operating the company up to its potential, that is as per the capacity of the company, the management of the company is not working. This is an aspect of inefficient management theory. Second possibility is that acquirer have inside information acquired, special information. They may place a higher value on the shares than currently prevailing in the market. Another aspect of undervaluation theory is that difference between the market value of assets and their replacement cost. The undervaluation theory, even in this account, is not much different from the inefficient management or differential efficient theory. It is true that the acquiring firm is more efficient than an average firm, or at least than the acquiring firm. Thus, undervaluation theory cannot stand alone and require an efficient rationale. A firm's valuation is computed by calculating Q ratio or Tobin's Q ratio. It can be calculated by using the formula market value of asset plus cash divided by replacement cost or book value. Then the next theory is information and signaling. The share of a target firm in a tender offer experience upper valuation even if the firm turns to be unsuccessful. Two forms of informations, that is tender offer, the information that the target shares are undervalued and the offer prompt the market to revalue those shares. No particular actions by the target firm or any other is necessary to cause revaluation. This has been called setting on a gold mine. The offer inspires target firm management to implement a more efficient business strategy on its own. This is kick in the pant. These are the two informations, that is sitting on a gold mine and kick in the pant. The theory of signaling states that particular actions may convey other significant forms of informations. The theory is connected with the labor market as per the Spence. In connection with the capital structure decision, managerial compensation is being explained by the rules. The next theory is agency problem and managerialism. Agency problem may result from a conflict of interest between managers and shareholders or between shareholders and debenture holders. Your shareholders and the management will be there, and the agency relation, that is principal and the agent. A number of organizations and market mechanisms serves to discipline self-service managers and takeover are viewed as a discipline of last resort. Your managerialism theory argues that the agency problem is not solved and the merger activity is manifested as a sign of the agency problem of inefficient rather than its solution. It suggests that self-serving managers make ill-convinced combination solely to increase firm size and their own compensations. Here, the Habs theory is another variant or the variables on the agency cost theory. It implies acquiring firm managers commit error over optimistic, that is winner curves in bidding for target. It is nothing but managers sometimes commit an error while bidding. Habs theory or the hypothesis we say here, as per the Richard Rolle hypothesis, that managers commit error on of over-optimistic is evaluating merger opportunities due to excessive bright animal spirit or habits. It means acquiring the firm target more than its current market price, acquiring the target firm even though there is zero or negative synergy or gain. Winnaker's Habs is generally followed by Winnaker's hypothesis. The Winnaker states that any bidding situation, a party which unknowingly overestimates the value of a given object tends to bid higher than its competitors and is therefore more likely to win it. In an overtake, magnitude of the winner curve is defined as the difference between bid premium of a winner bidder and the maximum offer able premium conditions as a capital market estimated of expected takeover gain. Next one, that is fourth one, free cash flow hypothesis. This theory has been popularized by the Michael Jane. In 1986, the shareholders and the managers who are their agents have serious conflict of interest over the choice of corporate strategies. The agency cost results from the conflict of interest that can never be resolved perfectly. Takeover takes place because of the conflict between manager and shareholders over the payout of free cash flows. Jason argues that payout of free cash flows can serve an important role in dealing with the conflict between the managers and the shareholders. Then the fifth one is market power. Fifth theory. According to this hypothesis, firms merge or acquire one or more firms to increase firms' market share, and increase firms or market share increases firms' market power. Market power lies in firms' ability to charge higher price or limit output. A firm may increase its size by internal expansion of the firm, Why is the external acquisition of another firm necessary to achieve these economics if indeed they do exist? It may be therefore a firm may want to increase size sooner, but it may have to pay a price for it. H index or Herfindahl index we say here. It is defined as a sum of a square of market share of all the firms in the industry. For examples, your H equal 4 in a bracket 15 is to 2 plus 40 in a bracket 1 is to equal 940. This is how the merger will be, or it will be squared. Or else this is one more examples. Maybe for 2 marks they will be asking. Then the sixth one is tax consideration. In case of merger, tax benefit also they will be getting here. Some merger may be motivated by tax minimizing opportunities. Taxes paid to the government, in order to minimize the tax value what is being paid to the government, merger will be taken place. The taxes affect the merger process as well as merger incentives, carryover of net operating losses and tax credit. Next one, stepped up asset basis. C, interest cost shield. D1 is cost of restructuring, method of financing. These are the tax considerations. Then the sixth one is value increases by redistribution among the stakeholders of the firm, bondholders to the stockholders, employees to stockholders and the consumers, government tax collector to shareholders. This is how the value of the firm increases or redistributed. These are the theories of merger. Thank you.